to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Welcome, everybody, to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show number 166. If I remember right. I'm getting my numbers confused. We're so high up now.
Something like that.
That sounded a bit arrogant.
Is this 42?
We're getting so high up. We're
going
going to need a
23?
soon.
Yeah, like
We need a relaunch.
we need to stay in tune with DC Comics. Like most series don't go past 150.
And
If
most
we were
importantly,
Marvel, we
need
would
a
have
Method
relaunched
Man,
like
Mary J. Blige
120 episodes ago.
Yeah, we would be. This is episode 3,
so
legacy
high.
number
Well,
166.
Yeah. This would be like volume 8.
This guy.
Volume 8.
Josh is just jamming to Mary J.
Yeah.
Blige right now. I love it.
Yeah.
That's I've also been jamming all freaking day to just WWE music. I say all day, like the past 2 weeks, it's been nothing but theme songs. But I recently downloaded the Raw and SmackDown current theme songs, and holy hell, those are bangers.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't checked them out, like they're pretty cool.
I checked it out when we built our playlists that day, but I didn't realize that there were new playlists out there to be had.
Oh, everybody's got their own playlist. I just add to the one I made. Yeah.
Are you at 100 yet?
No, I think I petered out around 47. I don't know how the hell you have so many.
I'm old. You got to go to the way back. And
I mean,
I watch
I've
NXT. So
got
I
some
a
old
bunch
stuff
of
too.
those.
That's fair. I have not watched NXT. I've got some AEW stuff on. Like I've got Jericho's current theme, MJF. MJF's theme is fantastic.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Where were we?
The
was the number.
size of our week is fantastic. I mean,
Yes.
in like the old school definition, because it's like fucking monumental.
Yeah.
Monumental.
To give it a crude analogy, if this week, if each issue was an inch,
Oh no.
we
I
would
knew it was going to go there.
we would have kicked Ron Jeremy out of the industry.
Ugh.
Oh man, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
They found him. What do you call it? Mentally unclear to stand trial.
What did he even do again? I don't remember.
Oh, a million different rape accusations. And they said
I gotta say that's
his
ironic coming
dementia-
from a porn star.
Well, yeah, but the time and all that. I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, no, definitely, I believe it happened. It's just, why the
His
fuck would you need
dementia-
to?
His
You get
dementia
paid to do
is
that.
so bad that he can't stand trial for that shit.
That's insane.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I
I
say
mean,
throw him to the wolves.
yeah, no, definitely. And now for something a little kid friendly. What's shit news? I know I had news. I
Shit
forgot.
news. That's not kid friendly.
Goddamn. I forgot what news we had. Holy crud!
I haven't gotten any news. Have you gotten any news?
Son of a fridge.
I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any comics news other than my I almost said SDCC, my NYCC, my New York Comic Con ticket is supposed to arrive
Ooh.
tomorrow. Very excited. It's Saturday. I'm going to be there all day again for the third time. But I'm most excited mostly because, and I haven't shut up about this, but it's probably like one and only time I'm going to be able to get stuff signed by Jeff Johns. And I know there's going to be a line like out the Javits Center and all the way to Times Square, but like I don't care. I'll wait. It's fine.
Get there early.
Yeah, that's what I've done typically. I get there like right at the start.
Mhm.
That's how I got like signatures from Josh Williamson. There was no one there.
Yeah.
I just walked right up. He was like, it was actually kind of funny. I think he just got there, and I was like the first person there. I was like, all right,
There we go.
you know what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Pen out, man. I got one for you.
Yeah. I felt bad because it was like 10:30 in the morning, so I'm sure they were like,
Wait,
hungover.
that's when it opens?
Yeah, no, it's a little late. So because like they don't actually open the actual center till like 10 o'clock, but I don't think Arts Alley opens till 10:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was right there. I was like, you already know.
Yeah.
This is what I am here for.
I don't play around.
Give me the signature.
Like I'll be here at 10:30 on the dot if necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to go again. It's always a good time.
I am jealous. New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con are two of my bucket list items.
Oh man, I so hope you can come to at least one. Preferably New York. No bias, but
it's a hell of a lot closer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say so.
Yeah.
Like a whole country closer.
I only wish like Toronto Comic Con was actually worth anything.
You think it would be? I feel like isn't Toronto kind of a? Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about.
You'd think it's
don't listen to me. I don't know if Toronto is a city or not. I was just gonna guess.
It's. I want to say, and I could be wrong here. I think it's the biggest city in the country.
Okay.
It's the capital of Ontario. It's a central hub for not only commerce, where there's a stock exchange here for crying out loud, but one of the biggest and most known airports in the world is here. Most known for bad reasons.
But
and
still,
just
most known.
Yeah. And when it comes to comic conventions, Fan Expo is bigger than Toronto Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
And almost nobody goes to Toronto Comic Con. I've never even been to Toronto Comic Con.
They figure there's no reason because of Fan Expo.
It's got to be that. It's got to be. But even Fan Expo isn't even as good as it used to be. Like DC and Marvel don't show up anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprising. I mean, I assume they come to Fan Expo, but
no, they don't go to Fan Expo.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
They stopped going years ago. Yeah.
Oh, huh.
Like that was two of my favorite things to do every year at Fan Expo was go to their panels, and then they stopped doing the panels. They don't have a booth, and just they have creators go to Artist Alley, and that's it.
I wonder if they're trying to keep it, I don't know, landlocked in the States. Because I can't speak for it now, but like when I was at Fan Expo Boston, 2019, I think, like they had DC and Marvel panels there. So I don't know. Crazy. That's really weird.
Which honestly kind of blows my mind about DC because there's a Warner Brothers head office for Canada in Toronto.
Yeah, not to mention the
down the street from the convention center.
Yeah.
And there's a DC office in Toronto down the street from the convention center.
I don't know what it is. We have so much to.
We could send a bunch of interns if you want it.
We have so much to owe, or so much that we owe to Canada, and yet it feels like they give them no love.
I feel that. Why I had to go through back channels to get a frickin' Sinestro Corps Batman figure. Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
We're your neighbor to the north where you wouldn't give us a cup of sugar if we asked.
Also, isn't he from Calgary?
Is he?
Messed up.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's like, well, I know he's Canadian. I just don't know.
I didn't even know that.
Where. But yeah, no, he was like, he went to some college.
Son of a bitch! He's from Calgary.
I remember because he was like, oh yeah, I used to play baseball and like for the Maple Leafs or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I wouldn't have expected that.
He went to the Alberta University of the Arts. This son of a
because he has this whole story where he's like, I didn't think anyone from Canada could work in comics. That's an American thing. And then I saw John Byrne. And I was like, oh, I can do it. But yeah, I guess maybe he's done. Does he even live in Canada anymore?
Probably not.
I doubt it.
Yeah, that's tough.
Nobody famous from Canada actually lives in Canada.
That's so sad.
Stephen Amell moved out. Justin Bieber moved out. Ryan Reynolds moved out. Todd McFarlane moved out. Even frickin' from my own hometown. Oh my god, the comedian. What's his name? Scheiße.
Not Tom Green.
No.
Jim Carrey.
No. Fuck Tom Green.
Not Jim Carrey.
Oh, shit. Hang on, comedian Russell Peters.
Oh,
Yeah, he doesn't even live here anymore.
wow.
So
Oh, you guys still have Chip
Deuces.
Zdarsky, so
Do we? I don't know where he lives.
do we? I have no clue. Somewhere in
San
the Great
Diego.
White North.
I mean, he just did a cross country tour. I imagine he lives here somewhere.
But we lured him to well, I don't think we lured him. I think DC lured him.
Yeah.
I have my own theories about that, but
Or Marvel.
Or Marvel, but yeah, I think I think that's part of it. I think it was just it was a little too much this year for him to be like, I can't make it. I'll just stay up here and drink my maple syrup. They're like, no, you're too important this year. You can't just not come.
Yeah. What's Chip Zdarsky just had another Marvel announcement recently, no?
Yeah, it was like the Avengers. I don't know, like
Yeah,
series. They haven't said anything. It's just give us a title. But
great.
yeah, they'll do that. Oh my god, I'll have to. I don't know if I ever told you guys about. I went to they have the Marvel Next Big Thing panel, and I've always heard about it, but I'd never actually been there. And I went for the first time last year, and it was like it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever. Not in a bad way. It's like. It was like being at a football game. Like I don't know, because they had Nick Lowe up there, and he's like full of energy, and it just felt so weird because all of the other panels are like fairly low key. It's like, oh, ask a question and whatever. Listen to Frank Miller talk about working with Jeff Darrow or whatever, and then this one is like, you're at a boxing match. It was so weird.
That sounds like being at a DC panel with Dan DiDio.
Oh my god, yeah. I wish I could have seen one of those.
Yeah, I witnessed two.
What you said,
and it was great.
Great. Well, because like he was such a. I wish I could have seen that in the DC days because he was such a charismatic talker.
Yeah.
At the Frank Miller Presents panel, and I was like, my god, no wonder people loved going to the DC panels back in the day.
Yeah. No, he was honestly like full of life when it came to those. He was very excited to be in front of the fans and just have those questions and interact. And even like all the creators, I've seen like online videos of panels and like transcripts of creators just joking around with each other, and DiDio was right there with them.
Yeah.
I think that might be my favorite part of the panels is seeing like them joke around with each other.
Oh, it's great. No,
yeah.
They had I forget which DC panel it was, but Mark Silvestri was talking about when he was doing Batman Joker Deadly Duo. And it was just nice seeing because Jim Lee was moderating the panel. Obviously, they're old friends. So it's like, a bunch of old Image in jokes. It was fun. It's like living vicariously through two legends.
Right. I love any panel where Tom King and Tom Taylor can just swap name tags.
Tom Taylor is apparently going to be like in New York this year because last year they like had a video. It was the weirdest thing during the Superman panel where they just like live streamed some pre-recorded video, but they're flying him out from the Outback this year, so we'll see how that goes.
Right on. There was something recent. I don't remember what panel it was. San Diego already happened, right?
Yeah. No, that was a couple months back.
It might have been that then, where they had a DC panel there, and Tom King was either running late or he couldn't make the panel. So Tom Taylor stepped in, took his seat and just pretended to be Tom King for 2 minutes. It was great.
Ooh, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
well, this whole joke is all because like
King impression. Because I can't, like, I know how he talks. I'm having a hard time imagining someone.
What's more important is Tom Taylor's impression of Tom King with his Aussie accent.
Yeah.
Trying to do a Tom King impression.
Yeah.
I really need to hear it.
I remember, I'm sure you probably remember this vaguely, but there was like that time back when I was on Twitter where they like switched their icon.
Yeah.
And that was some classic teasing.
And it all happened because it was either a publisher or Amazon or something got the names Amazon. Wrong.
Yeah. It like listed Tom King as Tom Taylor or something.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's hilarious. Why not? They both written Batman, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so speaking of news, Josh, you and I actually do have something coincidentally very similar things, and they're both about Netflix animated series based off of classic video games.
Mm.
Is Josh still there?
Is he muted?
Oh,
He
I'm
might be.
muted.
Oh, okay.
Surprise.
Yeah, I'll start off right quick because today, and I've been mildly following it. I've just been waiting for it to happen, but it just kind of appeared out of nowhere. Castlevania Nocturne, the sequel series to the first Castlevania anime, dropped today,
Yes.
and it looks freaking good.
Yes, it does.
Loose adaptation of Rondo of Blood with Richter Belmont. Oh god, looks so freaking good. And I haven't looked at the article yet, Josh, but you mentioned something about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, he's going to be appearing in in the anime based on the video game, uh, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. He's gonna
Okay.
be in.
I had the wrong video game in mind.
He's gonna be Captain Laserhawk, or at least he's appearing in Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix.
Okay, I just saw the name Captain Laserhawk,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the word dragon, and for some reason I thought it was Double Dragon.
No, that would have been sweet, right?
Yeah.
But it's Eddie Shankar who has some Castlevania credits to their name, so
Right
hoping
on.
that it'll be good.
I think he was. I could be wrong. I think he was showrunner for the first series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be good.
In the trailer, you're introduced to the world of Captain Laserhawk in what is described as a VHS full of lasers, video games, and a frog assassin. It's time to join the revolution with Dolph Laserhawk and free the citizens of Eden.
Far Cry 3 really was a wild one, wasn't it?
Yep. Yes, it was.
Oh man.
Yes, it was.
I think that's all I had.
That sounds about right.
I don't think there wasn't any comic news. I don't think,
I can't think of anything.
apart from Brandon picking up some awesome Hawkman books.
Oh yes, yeah, that was. I don't know. That's minor news, I guess. The LCS that I go to has like this very small short box of dollar issues, and every so often I'll like flip through and just see if there's anything of interest. And like there were like 5 issues of Hawkman series I'd never even heard of, and I was like, I'll take that. No one else will. It's pretty good.
Right.
Like it was nice. I went back up, found a nice table on campus, and just sat down and read it. And it was like kind of this cool invasion story with Hawkman and Hawkwoman. I know very little about their period in the 80s, like after Crisis. I know there's like Hawk World, but everything beyond that, I don't even know. And then the Jeff Johns one, I just kind of had stumbled onto. I guess someone else didn't want that, but I'll be excited to actually sit down and read that at some point in the future. Art looks really cool. It's Josh, you remember Rags Morales, right?
Oh God,
you
yes.
Read the Day of Judgment tie-ins.
Yeah.
He does the
and
art.
He's been in a lot of other stuff.
And Identity Crisis and Action Comics and all that stuff. But yeah, he did like the first 12 issues, and he does a really great job of like capturing the kind of classic look of Hawkman. Like I haven't got like all the context for the story, but if you just kind of flip through the art, it's really cool.
Right on.
He makes good
Yeah,
stuff.
there's
I'm
like a
Rags
fun.
Morales fan for sure.
Oh yeah, but there's like a fun like writer's note from Tony Isabella, who did the 80s miniseries, who I think like finally vocalized the reason why I've always liked Hawkman, but I was afraid to say it, because he said something to the effect of basically it's just like Hawkman just looks cool. You don't really need more answers than that. Like, have there been a lot of great stories? It depends on who you ask, but like from a aesthetic point of view, Hawkman is just a character that looks cool, and that's why people are gravitating towards him. And I was like, oh my god, I've known this, but I couldn't say it because I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody's got to be that guy once in a while.
Yeah, because you don't want to be the guy who's just like, I just like it because it looks cool. Because then you sound like really, I don't know, soulless. But I don't know. Sometimes you just have to be honest with yourself and say like, yeah, I'm reading this because Hawkman looks cool.
Yeah.
He uses his mace to beat the shit out of people. Am I wrong for that? Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
He's
absolutely not.
But
honestly, to me, he's got the personality of a brick wall, so that's the only cool part about him. He flies and beats people up. That's
yeah.
But there's all that mystery.
Well, he's sort of like, I don't know. His personality, at least in that series, is very much just like space cop / husband. Which is not bad, but
right.
it's not the most deep thing in the world. So
He's one up on Hal Jordan, I can tell you that.
yeah, no, at least he has a steady relationship.
Yeah. Not trying to be nosy, but I was watching you speak, as creepy as that sounds, and I noticed over your shoulder I see the Batman Superman logo, and I'm curious what that is.
Oh, wait, which one? Are you talking about that one?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think I've told you guys about this before, but hang on. This is what's that?
Is that a single issue?
Yeah, no, this is a single issue. This is Superman Batman 77.
Oh, okay.
Years ago. Just because I don't even know what the full story was there, but I saw it and I was like, oh, Robin, Supergirl, yeah, totally. And then like years later, 2021, 2 years ago, I say that as if it was that long ago. I saw like when Williamson announced that he was writing Robin, he was like, Robin, fun fact, was like one of the first characters I ever wrote when I started working at DC, and he talked about this issue, and I like ran to my long box. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know he read this. He wrote this. So I had it, and I was like, well, you know, if I ever get the chance to meet him and have him sign it, like, yeah, I'll totally bring this one. And I did, and this was it. And he did a little, I think I might have sent it at some point, but a little sketch where he says Batman, which is a quote from the issue. It's a really fun issue. I would recommend checking it out. It's like a Halloween themed issue. Also, it's like early Damian, where he's really bratty, so it's very fun. He's giving Kara so much shit, and Kara's like, all the other Robins are so much better, and he's like, I'm the best Robin. It's great. It's but anyway, that's to answer your question. That's
fair enough. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I gotta check that one out. I don't think I fell off on Superman Batman, so I gotta.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I know the Jeff. I mean, obviously, I know the Jeff Loeb ends, or the Jeff Loeb run ends at some point. I don't know where, and then beyond that, I don't even know who's writing the book. But there are like occasional single issues that you see mentioned here or there, and then obviously there's this one. But yeah, I know you were reading like the first 12 issues. You said
I got through the first 2 arcs.
Okay,
and then I had one I got from Dollarama. Was just it's volume 6. I don't even remember what's in it. It's Joe Casey, Paul Levitz, and Scott Collins. I think it's just a couple of different story arcs. But when I was at Fan Expo, I got a trade for the Search for Kryptonite.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite stories, so I was really happy to get that. But completely different creative team, like throughout. It's wild.
Yeah, I don't know how often they change the creative team for Superman Batman. I have to like go through the list. But I think it was like semi-frequently. They just had a bunch of writers, as the book passed on.
It might have been one of those books that just like every couple of story arcs was a new team.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's
like if anybody has a story for Superman and Batman, let us know.
Yeah, which I feel like that could be a method that works. Like, oh, if you have like a solid Superman Batman story, then go at it. But you're also probably gonna have a lot of forgettable ones too. No offense.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
unfortunately. Like I say, The Search for Kryptonite, for example, is one of my favorite stories, but I've seen a lot of people shit talking it, so like that's another example. People, you say forgettable, but there's also like hated.
It's okay to sometimes be the only one who likes a story.
Yeah,
as I'm sure Josh is very familiar with. Sometimes you just have to carry that weight all by yourself.
Yep.
I know the world disagrees with me, but I'll soldier on.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna do?
Well, speaking of soldiering on, I think we should hop to it.
We probably should. We should hawk to it.
Hawk.
Ding.
Insert hawk noise.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know this. Maybe I did, but I forgot. But there's a moment in Shadow War of Hawkman. Actually, there are multiple moments in Shadow War of Hawkman where he I guess knows how to talk to birds, but they don't have it be like, like bird language or whatever. He'll go like wheat, like WHEET, and then it'll have like a little caption for whatever he's saying, and then a wheat followed. I'll have to send you guys a panel. It's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
I don't think it lasted.
That doesn't sound right.
If I ever write Hawkman, I'm bringing that back. Totally bringing that back.
Awesome. All right. Well, before we hop into the books, let's take a break for a quick commercial, and we will be right back.
Yeah.
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 I can't find that.
That Hawkman.
Dash. Room.
Just checking, neither of you are reading Power Rangers comics either, right?
Nope.
No, not really. But I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about Power Rangers comics for like the last few years, actually.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Well, I know the Kyle Higgins stuff, like that era of the relaunched Power Rangers with Boom Studios is apparently like god tier. So
God, yeah. I started to read it when it first came out, and then I fell off because I had to do some culling, but I missed out on I caught up on some stuff, and it's just, you look at how cheesy the TV show is, and the comic is so much deeper.
What the hell?
Oh God, yeah.
You see what I mean?
I do see what you mean, and
it goes like wheat. What happened to you, my friends? Wheat. I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm gonna double down on my disdain for this new development.
You say disdain, I say recovered opportunity. I say new discovery.
Sweet. All right, well, I guess that's good enough for a commercial. So you wanted to talk about books, huh?
At some point.
Well,
yeah, we probably should.
40 of them.
It's as many as 410s.
Yeah.
And that's just terrible.
Oh, boy.
It's terrible. Well, I guess we should kick it off then, huh?
Yeah. You want to give us
start?
the honorable mention? Oh, the beginning, typically.
The Brave and the Bold by Batman. Or not Batman, but The Brave and the Bold number 5. The Penguin
Written by Bruce Wayne.
Written by Bruce Wayne. Art by Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, not anymore. He's dead.
Oh, yeah. You have to remind me of that.
Sorry. I had to.
It makes it worth more. Tales of the Teen Titans number 3, Donna Troy, Batman Beyond Neo-Gothic number 3, and Static Shadows of Dakota number 6. Hear about all those and more on the bonus show.
That Batman Beyond, though, I'm so happy.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Like I know we'll get more into it in the bonus show, but I'm curious before I forget to ask. You guys both read Tales of the Teen Titans yet?
Yeah.
Number 3.
Wait. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I know you guys were curious when it was first solicited if this was going to like give a clear cut idea of Donna's origin.
I was so worried we were gonna talk about this.
I'm just looking for like, does it do that or no?
Okay. Let's make this.
We'll do that.
Well, I can just make this really simple. Yes and
question.
No.
Yeah,
yes.
Oh god.
It resurrects an older origin. No, in that it does not answer any of the questions people have had since Rebirth. We can get more into that later.
Okay. Lovely. All right.
Fun times.
Very fun times. At least we have number 4 to look forward to, kicking out the next event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what we need. Another event. Can't just have comics.
Need events.
Yeah. All right. We will jump right into our main reviews for the week now. Detective Comics number 1074. And I believe Brandon is taking that on, yes?
I am. And this is, of course, brought to us by one Ram V doing the art, with Dustin Nguyen kicking off this new arc. Colors from John Kalich and letters from Ariana Marr, with, as usual, an outstanding cover from Evan Cagle. We don't shout that out enough, but like, it's just been tearing it up on the covers since the start of this run.
Hell yeah.
But our story picks up basically with a apartment on fire, and kind of we're in the middle of whatever just happened, but sort of trying to get all caught up on this sort of low-life guy who was going to meet up with his friend. And that's when he discovers that someone has been hanging out on the roof this whole time, and is none other than the Batman, looking a little worse for wear and talking about a strange place known as Morton's. But anyway, he makes his way through the rest of these underlings like a freight train, and then basically just jumps off the roof in the midst of an explosion in what is a very badass and blockbuster-esque scene, if I do say so myself. Before we cut back to the present with Officer Fielding, who is under task for Montoya to basically just kind of track down where Batman might be next before anything could get worse. But there is a really fun callback to Batman's secret files. It mentions it later in the issue, but this officer, Nathan Fielding, is actually a character that was first kind of specified in the Batman Secret Files from 2018, I want to say, which I believe might have been Ram and the artist Jorge Forn's first work at DC, and it's a really great story.
Really?
I would recommend people to check. And I always had that in the back of my mind, and I saw this. I was like, oh my god. I mean, no surprise he remembers it because it was a great story and he wrote it, but still, nice callback. But anyway,
right on.
So Fielding and his partner are on the trail of Batman, who is going through his own psychological stuff right now, kind of cycling through a lot of old memories. He flashes back to one at Gotham Pier with his father, which seemingly starts off as a very innocent memory, but quickly morphs into something a lot more nightmarish. But the sort of general idea of a lot of these nightmares is to kind of push him on, but also to make sure that he doesn't completely lose himself. Next, while Fielding and his partner are on the trail of Batman, they make their way to the old Gotham Pier, where a bunch of ex-Joker goons or current Joker goons have been hanging out. And that's when they come face to face with Waylon Jones, aka Killer Croc, who was also there at the time and was kind of present to everything that happened, but also came face to face with Shavad, I think her name is, of the Orgum family, who's also on the trail for Batman and was not asking in a very nice manner, as he mentions. But finally, as Bruce continuously goes through another one of his kind of psychological breakdowns, this time dreaming about Nightwing and sort of the relationship that him and Bruce have, and how Nightwing was saved by him, but Bruce is kind of in his own way still traumatized. We cut to an alley where Bruce is still processing all of this trauma, but that's when we make the rather dramatic reveal that alley, I think it mentions, I don't know if he is aware, but Fielding and his partner are aware, because Montoya makes them aware. The alley that he's kind of stumbled into and where he's processing all this trauma is none other than Crime Alley, which sort of gives Fielding a moment of revelation in that Crime Alley is the same place that Thomas and Martha Wayne were killed, and Batman has supposedly been going on this weird tour of Gotham with places that are possibly connected to him emotionally. So you can kind of see the wheels turning in his head of what he might be thinking of next. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys want me to go straight into the backup, or should we talk about this one?
We can talk about this one real quick, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
fuck, it's an interesting arc. It's an interesting start to this new arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I kind of came into this one with, I would say, fresher eyes, because we've really been hammering on this Orgum story for a while, and I know pacing has been a problem, and there have definitely been moments where it kind of felt like it was dragging. And this one also kind of slows things down, but I think in a much, I don't want to say better way, but certainly in a more understandable way. That's not the right
yeah.
word. I don't have the right word.
That's a good way to put it.
But what I'm sort of getting at is, like, we're not pressing pause on the Orgum stuff. We're just kind of slowing down now that Batman's infected with the asthma, but he's also dealing with the demon bat and everything. Like, we're just gonna really focus on this for a little bit and then get back to that. And I know that feels like it's putting a pause in the story, and I would be a hypocrite if I didn't complain about this, or I've been complaining about Nightwing doing the same thing. But I think this one works because, I don't know, they've really been focusing on the Orgum story so much that this feels like a nice breather, whereas Nightwing doesn't know when Heartless wants to be a character or not. But we're not talking about Nightwing. We're talking about this. Anyway, I really dug this, and also it's just great seeing Dustin Nguyen. He's like such in my opinion, a classic Batman artist. I know, like, he hasn't been drawing Batman since the 80s or whatever, but like, he's been drawing it for over 20 years. So for me, at least, he feels like such a nostalgic Batman artist, and it's nice to see him kind of ushering in this new arc as well. So yeah, no, I dug this first story at least, and I gave it 8.5 out of 10.
Right on. I 100% agree with everything that's been said. Like, I went into the story like, oh yeah, we're still doing those Orgum stuff, and oh god, we're gonna like have a little pause and just go through this asthma and Barbatos stuff, and then like the more I read, the more interested I got. So it's definitely a good issue.
Figure it out. Fucking figure it
Whoops.
Oh.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
Fringe and figure it out.
I didn't mean to do
that. It's honestly it's maybe one of my favorite issues of Ram V's run so far. Just seeing where this whole asthma situation has taken Bruce, and having this detective on the side, kind of following along. It's really interesting. For the main story, 8.75.
Oh yeah. I gave the main excuse me, blah blah. I gave the main story a 7.5. It is it's going in that slow Ram V style, and I don't mind that whatsoever. It's a new beginning, it's a new direction for this to be kind of heading into, and I'm hoping that it's a little bit more. I'm cautiously optimistic that the rest of it will be as structured as this one was. But I guess that remains to be seen. That's part one anyway. The art is fucking fantastic, and it's got me curious where it's going with it. I just need to be sold.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, right on.
Well, anyway, our backup, if we just want to launch straight into that, is a 10-Eyed Man story written by Dan Waters with art from Hayden Sherman. Colors from Trina Farrell and letters from Steve Wands. The premise, I think, is fairly simple. 10-eyed man is hungry and he wants pizza.
He
His
wants pizza.
quest, hey, he's just like me.
What's wrong with wanting pizza?
And
I want some pizza.
yeah,
Yeah, who
and,
doesn't?
exactly. And in his quest for pizza, finds his way around Gotham City and is kind of discovering that the people of Gotham are infected in various ways, ultimately landing in a hospital where he discovers a nurse who is about to kill a baby, which kind of gets a little dark. But 10-eyed man, in a, I think, rather odd moment for him, actually ends up stopping the nurse and saving the baby's life, but does end up in the custody of GCPD, and ultimately kind of helps look inside Montoya as well to just kind of look for what is missing in the people of Gotham. What have they forgotten? But whether or not we get a complete answer about what that is, and I think in concrete terms is what I'm saying, is not entirely clear. 10-eyed man just kind of vanishes after he looks into Montoya, and then goes off and enjoys his pizza on a gargoyle, as should all. I don't know. It was fun, very non-essential. It was like a nice callback to the Arkham City miniseries that we talked about. Oh my God, was that almost 2 years ago?
It was a long time ago.
God, that's horrible. So old. But yeah, no, I won't say it's anything necessary. Like it's just kind of fun. If you like the character from Arkham City, or you just like a, I don't know, a reverent story about 10-eyed man gallivanting through Gotham City, you'll probably have fun with this one. But honestly, like I read it and I was like, that's fine. So I gave the backup a 7.5.
I see that
Art is really good though.
It lifted the score up of the whole book for me a little bit. At the end of it, we see the 10-eyed man crawl through the hole that he sees in the world and just fucking teleports out of that. So, I mean, I guess that settles it for once and for all that the 10-eyed man isn't crazy, or at least not most. He's so insane that he's mostly not crazy. Does that make
Right.
This
to him, everyone else is insane. So really, he's the most sane one out there.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that leads into the next thing I was gonna say. This trippy character. If it's written like this, it's one I'm always gonna want to read. 10-eyed man is the start of a good story, if that makes sense. Like you can work into anything just kicking it off with him. The possibilities of storytelling are fucking endless with his unique insight into the world around us. I think there's a shit ton more left to tell from him. Granted that I'm generally speaking not a fan of non-essential reading. I was surprised I liked it as much as I did, but again, 10-eyed man stories are awesome. I gave this an 8.5, which rounded out the book to an
8. Personally,
our scores are basically inverted. You gave the main book a 7.5. I gave it an 8.5. I gave the backup a 7.5. You gave that an 8.5. It's weird.
I did not get a chance to fully read this one because I only got to read Detective Comics on the way home today. It's been a busy week. So flipping through it, I did get a bit of a gist on what was going on. Seems really interesting. I can't score it because I like I said, didn't get to really deep dive into it. But it does seem very interesting. And Dan Waters with 10-eyed man is like Matthew Rosenberg with Red Hood. He's got this arc throughout various books over many years, and it's interesting.
That's
how they're running the character.
Weird affinity for that character.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you, Waters. I'm with you. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So now we'll move on to Harley Quinn, number 32. This month has been kind of fun. Just revisit, like it feels like it's been so long since we've had these issues, and it's like we're back
with night terrors.
Yeah, and Batman still has them apparently. This man can't win. He just keeps having nightmares. All right, so this is Harley Quinn number 32. This is brought to us by Teenie Howard, writing with the script, and Sweeney Boo with art and colors, Steve Wands on letters, and a gorgeous cover yet again from Sweeney Boo. God damn, those covers are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has Brandon disappeared?
Oh no, did Brandon disappear?
He's a black screen and everything's gone quiet. He might have disappeared. Uh, hopefully he's out there.
Out there somewhere.
Yeah.
In the great beyond.
Yeah. Well, I'll jump into Harley Quinn still. So we return. Harley Quinn returns from her adventures in Night Terrors to Pamela and Janet from HR in their apartment, wondering where the hell Harley is. She comes home a little battered and bruised and really needs a shower or bath, as Ivy suggests. So Harley drags her into the bathtub with her, leaving Janet from HR with Bud and Lou standing in the hallway while the pair go off to have a wonderful night together. As they arise the next morning, Harley is in her professor's clothes, off to teach her students after the fiasco that was the field trip to the giant typewriter museum, which, again, fucking awesome museum. To get them prepped for finals. Yeah, but as she is doing that, she gets attacked by an OMAC, and not the classic 70s OMAC, an OMAC from Infinite Crisis. Never thought we'd see one of those again. Brother Eye OMAC. Yeah.
Secret Batman satellite OMAC.
Yeah.
Brother's
Eye. So this Brother Eye OMAC demands Harley comes with him to Earth 49, if I remember right. 48. Okay, where Lady Quirk is. I mean, it's on the page in front of me somewhere. You're right. It's Earth 48. And Harley says, I can't just leave my students. So the OMAC drags the students with her, and they head to War World on Earth 48, where Lady Quark and her family resides. It is a utopia of a civilization with fully advanced, as we've seen before, but it also leaves a lasting effect on the students, who use the knowledge that they find within to not only grow their brains to brainiac-sized proportions, but they're just like literal geniuses now. And they have a lot of fun with it, building shit as they go. Lady Quark, meanwhile, drags Harley away from them to talk about her multiversal adventures and trying to figure out where her powers manifested, down to the first time she grabbed through the multiverse to get the clownfish from Captain Carrot. And they have a hologram of her battle. Vorpalfish, thank you. It still looks like a clownfish. It looks like something the Joker would use. Yeah.
Laughing fish.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant to say, actually, was Jokerfish, not clownfish. Yeah. Clownfish is something. That's Nemo.
That's like it's an actual thing.
Yeah. As I was saying, I was like, this doesn't sound right, but I don't know what else it's called. Yeah. So she has a hologram of Harley's battle with Two-Face when she first manifested the Vorpalfish, and asks Harley to recreate it. And as she does, they get a brief glimpse of Harley based on what she was feeling at the time to protect people, and just through like worry and fear and heroic tendencies and all her emotions all at once, manifests the ability to poke a hole through the multiverse, which opens a hole into bleed space, and Harley and Lady Quark jump into a multiversal ship that Lady Quark and her family have built for the pair to traverse. And as they do, they come across all sorts of things outside bleed space, including some not exactly zombies, but dark shadow figures of an underrealm that is not as bad as hell, but also kind of worse. They follow the pair back to Earth 48 on Warworld, and Harley and the students, mostly the students. Harley does try to do some fighting, but trying to protect the students end up using their advanced knowledge and the new building they've constructed using an energy overflow vent to blast away all these shadow figures. The residents of Warworld are very grateful for the students' success and send them back. Supposedly without the advanced knowledge, but we'll see because their bodies were forever changed. So we'll see what happens. Harley is now on her way back to the apartments. It's now late at night. Class is long over, and she got some snacks because she just wants to curl up in a ball and eat some junk food. But then she is found by a multiversal detective named Lux Kirby PI, and looks really fucking weird, like a clock face for a face, and I don't even know how to describe this character. Harley initially wants nothing to do with it, but Lux Kirby says, "You're not in trouble. You're actually a victim, and a multiversal version of you has been murdered." And it is a bunny version, very reminiscent of Captain Carrot. And
straight out of man, how you gonna look at that and not think straight out of Space Jam?
Oh, I do, but like I know there's no way that's Lola Bunny. There's unless they are doing some like Warner Brothers crossover here. I don't think they are though.
Yeah, that's not Lola. That's definitely Harley Bunny.
That's definitely Harley. It could be Lola in cosplay. We don't know.
Who? You don't know. You just don't know.
They
could be cousins for all we know. They're
could
obviously both from the Bunny family.
Yeah. Brandon has disappeared.
Why did Brandon disappear?
That's not good. I'll do a quick look at the backup. Another one I did not get to fully deep dive, but this is High Stakes, written by Sam Maggs with art from Killer Kelly Jones, colors from Jose Villarrubia, and letters from Hassan Otsmane El Hau. It's a vampire story with Harley and Ivy, and what looks like Nosferatu.
Right.
Yeah, and it's well, oh shit! I just realized maybe it's Joker. I was so fixated on the fact that it looks like Nosferatu that I didn't even catch the smile until just now. Wow. Yeah, it's a very on brand Harley backup of the pair in a vampire story, very much Dracula inspired. Very interesting. The art, Kelly Jones, just fantastic. You can't go wrong. If you're reading Harley Quinn, definitely check out this backup. It is pretty awesome. Yeah, so that is Harley Quinn. A lot of fun still. Like, I'm still loving this new direction. I would still want to say new creative team, but because it feels like so long, but it hasn't really. I think it was issue 28. This team took over, so it really wasn't that long ago.
This was like a Dawn of DC relaunch.
Yeah. It feels like it was forever ago, but it really wasn't. Still digging it. This multiversal story with Harley is honestly flowing quite well. Like, they're not going too quick, they're not going too slow. They're giving just enough information each issue to add to the story and make it interesting and keep it fresh. I like it. And the art's really good. Sweeney Boo, as we all agree, rocks.
Whoa.
Yeah. As Josh once said, Sweeney Boo-tastic.
Sweeney Boo-tastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, the backup is amazing, if only for Kelly Jones art. God damn, I can't believe they got Kelly Jones to do that. It's so good. This issue 8.75 again.
Yeah, dude, this
I gotta say
was nuts, but I am glad to see the story finally taken off.
Yeah.
The whole thing that's been happening, it's been happening at, well, I mean, I guess like at a Harley's pace, meaning speed up, slow down, speed up, do it again.
Unpredictable as it usually goes.
Very much so. But and this is pretty serious for a Harley story too, repercussions wise, not like tone wise. I like it. It's weird, but I like it. And of course, like we just said, Sweeney Boo is a chef's kiss for the eyes.
Yeah.
The backups that are the dreams, strange just weird, but also not bad. Enjoyable, at least. The art as well. Whole book, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Good stuff.
Yeah, same. Oh no, I was just gonna say same score for me. Honestly, like it. I don't know. There are a couple of points where I felt like it was a little too fast to the point where I just felt like I couldn't latch on to anything. But it's still fun. It's still very innocent, and it's keeping me reading. So that's good enough.
Yep.
But yeah, that backup of Kelly Jones. Oh, so
Right.
good, man.
Stuff.
Oh man.
Speaking of chef's kiss.
Really, truly chef's kiss.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 7.5 for me. Just solid stuff, but it was a little too fast for me. Perhaps.
Yeah. Almost feels like they hit the ground running with this one right out of Night Terrors, and almost like they just wanted to catch up a bit, but it's kind of weird because they don't need to catch up.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, admittedly, I knew all the multiverse stuff was going on, but it felt like it had been so long ago I wasn't thinking about it, and it was like right back in, and like within 5 pages, like OMAC, and I'm like, oh, okay,
What?
all right, cool, and then Lady Quark, and it was a lot.
Yeah. Hey, fair enough. Now we'll jump into Spirit World number 5, brought to us by Brandon.
All right, Spirit World number 5, written, of course, by Alyssa Wong, with art from, I think it's Haining. Josh has been doing most of the summaries, so I don't have all the pronunciations, but I think that's right. Colors from Sebastian Chang and letters from Steve Wands. This issue picks up where the last one left off with a possessed Constantine and Cassandra Cain. Although before that, we have a little prelude with the Jade Court. We're kind of watching all the madness go down. But anyway, Xanthi is sort of face to face with what they call, the best sorcerer, one of the best hand-to-hand combat fighters within the universe. So naturally, they're a little freaked out about having to fight these two. But thankfully, they're fairly resourceful and are able to kind of create this circle that is able to allow both Cass and Constantine to assert their own autonomy and authority. But also, they kind of reveal that the reason that Cass and Constantine did not completely lose their personalities when they were being possessed was because they have tethers to the human world, and so that kind of grounds their personalities even in the spirit world.
Those tethers are people that remember them, right?
Yes, people that remember and love them. Yeah, that remember them more than it says, like, beyond that they love you and care about you. So obviously that tether is what's keeping them there. But in the midst of all this, there has been I don't remember what this spirit's name was, but she was acting on behalf of the Jade Court and had kind of been sent to handle both Xanthi and the rest of their companions, and that's when they sort of are face to face with this strange entity that is, I think, being puppeted or was being puppeted by the sort of leader of the Jade Court, the Empress of the Jade Court. But the Golden Warrior is kind of becoming impatient with this, and so ends up making his way from the Jade Court to face them head on, and does so. So Xanthi, Constantine, and Cass, in the midst of this battle with both the strange demonic entity and also this Golden Warrior, are sort of helping to fight off both of these representatives of the Jade Court, and Xanthi is able to kind of siphon off some of the energy from both Cass and Constantine in order to help them in their fight. But that's when they reveal that this has all sort of been one larger plan of the Jade Court to bring everyone here and to inevitably open the door between the spirit world and our world to, presumably unleash chaos. Yeah, agreed. Very much a penultimate issue, but a very well done penultimate issue. Honestly, the whole series has been like that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't have all that much to say other than it just kind of keeps this very consistent quality, um, and really just manages to keep things exciting even with issue 5. So as sad as I will be to see this book go, I will be happy if it goes out on a high note, and hopefully Xanthi, as well as some of the other characters we've met in the spirit worlds, like Popo and everyone else, will be around in some form in the magical corner
sure.
of the
Yeah.
universe. So yeah, it's just a really solid book. Like I feel like I've been saying that since issue 1, and honestly, I still feel that way. So it's impressive, really. So I gave this an 8.25 out of 10.
I can agree wholeheartedly. 8.25 as well. It's been a solid run. I think everything from the We Are Legends line has been just hit after hit. So it's great to see a banner have like such great books under it. Spirit World might actually be my favorite. It's so full of lore and history, and great character work, and this issue is no different. It's getting up to the final issue, like Brandon said, and it promises so far right now to be a hell of an ending.
Yeah,
really well done. The art's fantastic. God damn, I can't sing the praises for this book enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
So break out another story and give us another 6 issues.
Exactly. Yeah.
Magic,
no, I'm down for a season 2.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. The magic story in this book is wicked cool. The magic that is the story is wicked cool. I'm having a real good time. And on top of that, I know that once this is collected, it's going to read even better. And I'm not saying that in the way of like, making an excuse. Well, if it's better, if it's all together, you read it better. This is going to read like one hell of a story. On top of that, every piece of art, every single panel is easy to look at. It's a different kind of team put together, and that's been in the book, and it's led to some really interesting and very fun to read. I especially like the undertones of the whole thing, because it's like face your struggles, be sure of who you are, even when you can't be. Hold the line. Very positive message reinforcements going on in the book, man. And
Yeah.
I dig it. It gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me.
I would love sometime in the future, hopefully next year, to see just once, even if it's a one shot, a team up story with Xanthi, let's say City Boy, Monkey Prince, Sideways, and Red Canary.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Wow.
I throw Sideways in there because Sideways is always going to be in there when it comes to my opinions.
Of course.
Yeah. Until he comes back proper.
Yeah, I'm glad each book in the line has kind of just focused on telling its own separate story, but I'm surprised there hasn't been any kind of crossover between the titles. They've all just been in their own little corners, so it would be cool to see kind of a crossover or something like that.
Yeah. And we've seen City Boy interact, so
yeah, not an event, no, not with 50 tie-ins, just a very simple crossover. That's all you need.
Like, yeah, in the future, I'm glad that they each got their individual time to shine. Being first introduced at the very least. It's good stuff.
I was surprised that, and I think it's been done before in comics, but very rarely. Something along the lines of what, like the story style that Netflix Marvel series did, and like the MCU did. You have these various stories with brief hints of a larger piece, all come together at the end. They could have done something like that here. New characters, smaller stories, but you have little hints of something bigger in each story, and then they come together in the end, and they all team up for like a big one-shot issue. It's not an event; it's a crossover.
Yes,
and it's a common purpose. Something like that would have been really interesting.
Yeah, kind of like Defenders did with Daredevil and Iron Fist and Luke Cage and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but just
exactly that. Yeah,
much better
way
story,
better story.
I still have opinions about that show, if you want to call it that. But it gave us Daredevil season 3, so I guess I shouldn't complain too much.
That's fair. Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was a
them and just watch Daredevil.
Yeah.
No, there's a damn mosquito in here that's.
I wasn't sure if that was that or if you're just like Daredevil season 3. Oh God, yes.
Daredevil season 3 speaks for itself.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It's perfection.
You can just
did you watch it?
about the other 3.
Okay, so quite honestly, I fell off on the Marvel Netflix.
That's fair.
Daredevil season 3 is the only Daredevil I haven't watched.
Oh, it's so
even
good.
though I know I should.
Yeah.
And I still want to, because the first 2 seasons I really enjoyed.
Do it.
Yeah, it's so worth it, man.
Yeah.
And not only does it make up for Defenders, but it's just such a great, if sad, end to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Really well though.
They have a new villain in it that time, right? Oh, Bullseye's in it.
Yeah, well, they bring in Bullseye and they kind of do a sort of their own version of Born Again.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
Right on. Yeah, I gotta check it out for sure. I gotta get on that.
Yeah.
It's only been 4 years.
It's only been 4 years.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're not behind it all.
No.
Meow.
Yeah, I was gonna say we all finished Spirit World, right?
We did.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. WildCATs. God damn it, Ange. She's been on a High School Musical kick recently, so.
Oh no!
I said what WildCATs. I was gonna say what team?
No. I have such a hate relationship with that movie. Not because it's necessarily bad or anything. It was like inescapable for years.
Yeah.
I had kids that loved it. I never watched it. Never had to succumb. It was beautiful. Never had to watch anything High School Musical or Glee.
I had a lot of cousins who were girls, which were like and it was during that era where you couldn't run away from it, so it was perfect for people to just consume on a massive scale. And everywhere I turned, it was there.
Yeah,
like I see it in my nightmares.
It's like
I'll admit
acceptable warfare. It's not.
I fucking loved it only because around that time I was also part of musical theater. So
that makes sense. Yeah,
I was all for it.
Yeah.
I still really enjoy Glee.
Yeah. Hey, my kid just made Melody Makers.
Ooh, congrats.
My 10-year-old, he just found out yesterday that he made the team, so that's cool.
What
they sing? It's like a choir thing for his school.
Oh, okay, right on.
They go around, and eventually it turns into competitions and stuff. But
nice.
Right now, it's just traveling singing.
That's pretty cool. A lot like Glee, I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's excited.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I don't imagine I guess you're not too excited.
I'm glad
based off your reactions.
He's able to do something because his mom sings really, really well too.
Yeah.
And she went through choir like all the way through high school, like till she graduated, competed and all of that stuff. So I'm glad that they've got something that they can bond over. But I'll probably be more into he got a gig with doing the morning news.
Right on.
School as well. So I'll probably be more into that part.
Nice.
Let mom have the Glee.
Yeah.
I'll support you, man, but I don't want to watch all of it.
One day,
the rest of the good stuff I've done outweighs that.
One day I will find a musical you will appreciate.
There was an episode that had a musical in it. Like it was just a TV show that had a bit of a musical in it, and I made a comment.
There's been a few. Buffy?
No.
Not Riverdale, I hope.
No.
Oh, thank God.
I can't even tell you what it was, but it was the first time I've ever said, well, hey, I mean, I guess I could take that. but I don't remember what the hell it was.
Yeah.
And the Buffy musical episode is to this day one of my favorites.
That's horrible.
What do you mean it's horrible?
Ooh,
That's horrible.
You're horrible.
harsh.
Take a vampire show and turn it in and have it do a musical. It makes no sense.
It's a fun little one episode thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that gets a pass.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
it
what
worked
everybody
into
said
the
about
universe
Riverdale
as well.
until
Yeah.
It became just a show about musicals.
No, anybody that said that about Riverdale was wrong. I was saying from the get-go, this show makes no sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think people were just like that first season was like the hype of seeing all the classic Archie characters, but serious, and then it started a horrible trend that we're still living through to this day.
Well, it's
Not
done now.
really
It's officially over.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was talking about like
finished this year.
endless spin-offs that were born out of that. That was like, what if we took like
even those are done?
musicals
Yeah,
and TV
okay.
shows. It's just not
yeah, it
good.
was just like, what if we take like childhood property that you know, but we make it dark and serious.
Oh,
I think the ultimate
That's why the
epitome of
Fresh
that was
Prince
like,
of Bel-Air. The
Oh,
Fresh
yeah.
Prince.
why I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking like there was a Hardy Boys reboot on Hulu,
Yeah.
and I still can't believe that was a thing. I watched the
never
first
saw
episode and I was laughing my ass off because I was like, this is ridiculous. Like I read the Hardy Boys when I was like 10,
Me too.
but I don't remember them having a tragic and damaged backstory.
No,
No,
But anyway,
me either.
not everybody needs one.
yeah, you really don't.
No.
Contrary to, I don't know, studio beliefs, it does not necessarily make good television.
No. No, it really does not. Anyway, that's enough about musicals. So it was a weird tangent we went on.
As is the
No
norm.
weirder than any of the usual ones.
I mean, we didn't even talk about comics. Technically.
Yeah.
I mean, I think somebody brought up Archie comics, but that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there.
There.
This is
Done.
what team? WildCATs.
WildCATs. Wait, you tricked me, you son of a bitch.
This is number 11, if I remember correctly.
You remember correctly.
Woohoo! And this is written by Matthew Rosenberg, if I remember correctly, with art from Steven Segovia, Danny Kim, and Tom Derenick, again, if I remember correctly, and colors from Elmer Santos and letters from Farron Delgado.
You remember
Cover
correctly.
from Steven Segovia and Elmer Santos, if I remember correctly.
You're reading it off of your phone.
I'm reading it off the damn page. I think I remember very well because it was 2 seconds ago. All right, we are now pretty much in the end game for this series as well.
Another
Which
issue.
yeah, it's a damn shame because this has been a blast to read.
Okay,
We have a
Yeah.
bit of
I don't know. I was just like, the tragedy is, when are we ever gonna get another WildCATs book? Like, real
You
talk.
know?
It's gonna be a while, so might as well enjoy these last 2 issues while we can.
And if
Anyway,
if we ever do get another WildCATs, is it going to be as fun?
I don't know. We'll see.
Matthew Rosenberg clearly appreciates and loves these characters.
Hmm.
It's hard to see if anybody else will have the same effect, but I guess we'll see one day,
Doesn't
maybe in the
mean he
future.
won't
Maybe.
come back and do it.
God damn, I
look at
hope
Waters
so.
With the 10-eyed man, he always comes back.
That's true.
Mm.
Excuse me. All right, so we're opening on a press conference from Halo and in Star City of all places. You know, shut the front door, you son of a businessman. Some clean cursing for you.
Oh my goodness, Robin Sparkles.
We're going to the mall. Like, what are we doing?
Passing around sandwiches.
Where did these "How I Met Your Mother" riffs come from?
I don't
This is
know.
very, very fucking random.
You're welcome.
All right. God damn, that was good. All right, so Halo press conference about the Spartan robots, robots, right?
Yeah, and
Something like
androids,
that.
basically.
Yeah, androids. being the new face of the company and being heroes to the world. And then they get bombarded with various questions that are very questionable, like were these robots in this war zone recently? Where's Jacob Marlowe? Various other things, and they cut it short as Jacob Marlowe in whatever hole what could be. That is the name of the mansion he is in, apparently, that he owns, where he's watching this press conference and just having a good old laugh about it. The rest of the WildCATs are there with him, swimming by the pool. Really lends a lot of questions for me about Lady Tron, but hopefully she's waterproof. I'm assuming.
Of course she is. She made sure of
it. That sounded a lot more sinister than I think you meant it to.
No. I'm just very familiar with her proclivities with BDSM. So I imagine everything's got to be watertight everywhere.
That's fair. that's very fair. Brandon, you look embarrassed, but
yeah, I don't know how to answer this question. I know how to answer this question, but I don't know if I want to answer this question.
Fair enough. We can say that for off air if need be. All right, so the team are chilling by a pool and talking about the mission at hand and basically just having it out with each other at the same time, down to Cole and Marlowe, basically just ready to have at it. But they get stopped and everybody decides to smarten up and just get ready for the mission at hand. And that is to infiltrate the Halo building and figure out what the hell to do next. Before that happens, Cole and Xana have a brief repose together. Feelings are revealed, and they have a bit of a moment without clothes. To be honest with you, that kind of came out of nowhere for me. I know they hinted at that in the alternate universe Cole was in, but that didn't really seem apparent with the rest of the series in this universe.
Yeah, it's a little harder for me because obviously I kind of have the older association or older kind of knowledge of the WildCATs. So obviously I know that in the previous continuity, Cole and Xana had kind of a romantic past, but I kind of went through some of the old issues just to see if there were any hints, and it was like kind of there, but I don't know. I agree with you. It did kind of just appear.
Yeah, it's a bit like
as easy as it was to slip into this book for somebody who was just interested in picking up a book with Grifter and company. I think the majority of the people who read this have at least picked up previous WildCATs books and are at least a little familiar with Cole and Z being a couple, or at the best, what is it like? When you're friends with somebody but you also can't stand them, you call them frenemies. What's the word when like sometimes you're friends with somebody and sometimes you can't stand somebody, but you're sleeping with them? What's that word?
Is there a word for that?
I don't know, but I feel like there should be. And since you're in Cornell, I think we need you to come up with it.
I have no idea. I'd have to come up with something clever that encompasses all of that. But yeah, I don't know a word. I don't know a single word that just describes that. Someone that you hate, but also that you sleep with. Feels a little counterintuitive, but relationships are a messy thing.
Counterintuitive. I think that matches perfectly with the WildCATs.
Yeah.
Let's
the wild counterintuitive operative team.
Although I'm wondering, like, if maybe this book is banking on people having read Birds of Prey #1, which obviously sees, Cole and Xana together and like living together in some apartment, and so maybe it's like we're kind of trying to
that's
connect
right.
this to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be that.
But even that also was kind of out of the blue, and that clearly takes place after this.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's really weird. Something tells me that Birds of Prey came out a little too early, considering not only spoiled this, but Green Arrow number 6 as well.
In terms of like publishing schedule, it's probably way too early.
A little too early.
They've had a couple of those screw ups as of late.
Yeah.
With Birds of Prey again with Ollie.
Yeah, that was a little much. Like same month, couple weeks, fine. 2.5 months away. That's on you, bud. That's too much. It's a lot. Also, for your reference of enemies that bang, let's call it Hate Me and Chill.
Hate Me and Chill.
Hate Me and Chill. I like it.
There you go.
I like it a lot.
There we go. Good. Want to say, speaking of Hate Me and Chill, but I don't know if it fits. Following Xana and Cole getting frisky, outside the door is Lady Tron.
Yeah.
Just listening closely, trying to find the right moment to insert herself.
And then Caitlin walks by and he's like, "Go away, little kid. This isn't for you."
That was fantastic. Yeah, I'm spilling the beans right now. That's my favorite moment of the week. I was reading this on the bus. I nearly burst out laughing. Like, of course she is. So that also is where Caitlin asks for a new earpiece because she said she lost it during the last mission when they were fighting Batman and company. And then we cut to Batman and Company, where Dinah, Roy, and Bruce in Roy's apartment are trying to figure out how to break into this earpiece. I guess jailbreak the earpiece and reverse engineer to figure out either communication arrays or locations where they can find the WildCATs and other people. And as Roy goes to take a look, Caitlin hops on the earpiece, prompting Roy to think he's the one that fixed it, but he wasn't. It was just Caitlin being Caitlin. She comes to Batman with a plan. She has a plan. She doesn't tell Batman the plan, but asks to meet where Elias Park is at 1 a.m. And this is where the 7 soldiers are also there, oddly enough, also looking for Caitlin, where Bruce, Roy, Dinah, and also Martian Manhunter arrive to also find Caitlin. And the two teams
shows up.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't like in the last issue. He just, I guess they were like, "Hey, John."
He wasn't. Yeah, we need backup.
Yeah,
want to help. Yeah. The two teams square off as Caitlin runs away, and this is where I'm a little confused. But we'll get into that. It wasn't really Caitlin. I don't know. Well, you have to talk about that because I'm very confused about that part. But this was the distraction necessary for the WildCATs team to infiltrate the Halo building, and they do from 2 fronts. But they are found almost instantly by holy crap! I'm blanking on her name. That's the Void, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was getting that right. So the Void finds them almost right away and sends a whole bunch of Spartan androids straight to them, to both teams. Actually, no, to one team. The other, Cole's team is being fought by, and I'm going to need you guys to fill in those blanks because I'm kind of blanking on all the names. I see some Court of Owls characters, but the guy with the long green ponytail and the sharp claws. Warblade. There's multiple Warblades?
There's multiple Warblades, which I don't understand.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I mean, or it also could be like a perspective thing where he's in between leaping or something. I don't know. But
could be. Yeah, so they're now ambushed from their own ambush, and this is where the issue ends, to be concluded. Great. So right away, I just want to ask you guys about that moment where the heroes see Caitlin running off into the woods while our heroes go up against 7 soldiers, and then some guy pops up from behind the tree in Caitlin's clothes and a Caitlin-looking wig. Who the hell is that guy?
I have no idea. I wanted to go to uh what is it, to League of Comic Geeks to see if maybe that was one of the characters listed in the credits, but I haven't checked that out yet. I just
Yeah.
assumed it was like some agent working for Lynch, but
Okay.
it didn't mention
Could be.
anyone specifically.
Could be. Yeah, that's the only part I was confused about. I was
Yeah.
hoping you guys might be able to provide some insight, but I kind of feel relieved that I'm not the only one confused.
No, yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Yeah. I mean, considering it says Lynch, you miserable fuck, do you copy? I can only assume that it's somebody of note in this series, unless everybody that works for Lynch calls him a miserable fuck. I don't know.
I mean, I remember. I feel like I saw somewhere that like they were they had either teased the idea or they were going to include Holden Carver from Sleeper in this series, and I was like, absolutely not. And there was a moment where I was like, maybe that's him, but I can't tell. It's the lighting in that particular panel is too dark. It's kind of hard to see. Like it looks like it could be him, but it also looks like it could be any IO agent. So it's not really specific.
I like there's this blue kind of energy over him, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's energy or if that's just lighting from the night sky through the
Yeah, who
trees.
knows?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it as light, but
Yeah,
it's only coming from one direction, and you can kind of see the lighter colors of the blue around it. I think it's light anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely does look that way. Just light poking through the trees.
Mhm.
Wait. Oh, hang on.
Hang on to what?
Oh, one minute. Okay, no. I was gonna say, what if it's Marlowe? Because it's got to be somebody short to be Caitlyn sized.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it could be.
Maybe it is Marlowe. Like the hair looks a little more brown rather than gray, but maybe it could be Marlowe. Who knows?
I think you're probably
you might be
right.
right.
Size wise, that's probably makes the most sense.
I was just thinking
feel
about that.
stupid.
This person almost looks like a full grown adult. How does that make sense if Caitlyn's supposed to be short? But yeah, then I thought about it. They do have a short person on the team, so yeah, that's okay. So it's Marlowe. That makes more sense now. But ultimately, though, art's fantastic. Story's very interesting. That panel with the Void, holy hell, that looks freaking awesome. Especially with the red eyes behind her. This has been a heck of a book. I'm sad to see it go next issue, but at least we know the characters are not gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're around somewhere.
Yeah. We at least have Xana for a little bit in Birds of Prey. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope we have more Grifter eventually too.
I'm sure we will.
Definitely. I'll give this an 8.5. Solid issue, solid story. Like I said, the art's fantastic. Got 3 different artists. You can tell, the differences between the parts, the pages, but none of them really look better than another, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They all complement the story really well. Yeah, 8.5, solid book.
Yeah, this was probably my favorite one in a little while. We just kind of been jumping around with Grifter for a while and trying to figure out what's going on with the takeover of Halo, but this one didn't necessarily slow things down, but just kind of brought it to a head, which was like, okay, clear goal in sight. We're bringing down Halo in the next issue. Like, cool. And then also just like nice character moments and everything. So yeah, this was just a really solid issue, and I hope the conclusion kind of brings it to a nice end. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for me.
For sure, this is the penultimate issue done right. It's freaking gorgeous all the way through, except for the switch in the art on the pages when they were in Roy's apartment. That was just a little bit off because it was such a different kind of art. But I mean, geez, the Void is back, or at least one of them is. Lines are getting blurred and defined at the same time. My biggest question is, what will the WildCATs look like, and who's going to be a member after this? And is Batman going to be cool by the end of the next issue.
Well, we very nearly have like a classic WildCATs. We're only missing, Maul and Warblade, but they have like the original Spartan, John Colt. They have Voodoo finally in her classic-ish costume.
Right.
Obviously Grifter and Zealot. So it's like you're almost there. 2 more characters, and you'd have like the classic '90s WildCATs team.
That would be cool, and it would be cool to see more being done with it. Until then, like I'm talking like the damn series is already over with because I'm so heartbroken that it I've got one more issue left, but I'm happy to see Cole and Z together and the rest of the world on fire. That is a perfect Wildcats book. I fucking love it. 9 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going on to Doom Patrol number 6, brought to us by Josh.
Brought to you by Josh. Written by Dennis Culver. Art by Chris Burnham. Brian Reber on colors, both inside and out. They did that art. And lettering from Pat Brazo. Get ready, Flex Force. That's how the book starts out. We've got Starbro, Squonk, Silo Simon, Roxy Centaur, don't call her Roxy. Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Girl, don't call her that, just call her AVM. And anyway, they're going through their very first ultimate test, playing Capture the Flag against the Doom Patrol.
Wait, Josh, we're supposed to be reading Doom Patrol, not Broforce. Broforce.
Well, they're playing Capture the Flag, and of course, that's when they get attacked by a bunch of attacked. The baddies are kind of winning, and that's when we find out from Kipling, who just showed up, that someone is trying to exhume Dorothy. Uh-oh. Of course, it is General Immortus with Hungan and Monsieur Mallah trying, of course, to give the General eternal life. He drinks a resin, which is apparently also a wax. His face starts melting. He falls into a grave, and he comes back out as a Black Lantern. No, I'm just kidding. But there is something that's very similar in that look there. Anyway, he calls himself the Eternal Flame, and that is how we wrap the book. Next up, Stoppable. Like the opposite of Unstoppable, like the Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Anyway, this book is insane, but it is everything it should be, and I can't help but gobble it up like Thanksgiving leftovers. Yum, nom, 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 nom. Both story, art, and colors. It's such a good time. What else can you say about a Doom Patrol book? It's an 8 out of 10.
Agreed. It's a very quick read, but that's not a detraction from the book itself. The art is still really good. The story is very interesting. You get this is the penultimate one again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. God, so many penultimate issues this week.
Oh.
You get a nice little look back at all the characters you met along the way for this little mini series.
Really was the friends we met along the way.
Yeah. Oh my god. It all comes together.
It all makes sense. Unstoppable Doom Patrol was the friends we met
along the way. Exactly.
Don't forget we've got that worm that is still a bad guy.
Are they is that even?
Yeah, I don't think that's know. Who even was the team? Was that part of Waller's team?
Yeah, it was like he was an agent of Peacemaker and Waller's team up, or that general guy, I forget his name. But they'd sent him in as like a secret agent, and then the kid went off and died, but the worm was still there, presumably still acting as an agent.
And he, and the worm was the sleeper agent.
That. Yeah.
The kid
I don't know.
Was forced to go along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what are you playing? I'm so distracted right now.
Sorry, I'm trying to get so the Blue Lantern Kyle came with these fire fists that you get with Parallax as well. I'm trying to get them to fit on his hands, but they don't fit, and I don't know why. It's really annoying.
That's frustrating
because I wanted to I want a new pose because I've just had him holding the lantern for 6 months, and I want something different. But it won't fit. What's even more frustrating, the one I did just having fit won't fit now, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Why?
Figure it out.
You got to be careful though. I had
oh, there we go. How did I do that?
I had the bow for Ollie, and I was bending it back too much.
Oh no!
Wait, actually, I think I have it. It snapped.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it.
Uh,
It like snapped clean in half. So now I just have Ollie is sat next to Batman and Kyle, and he's just going like this
for no
with
reason.
No bow.
Oh no.
That's weird. That sucks.
Yeah.
Need to get a bow.
Most unfortunate. Look at this. Snapped clean in half.
Oh
wow.
That stinks.
So I would need like, I don't know, maybe some hot glue or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot glue. There you go.
Oh well. You got to be careful.
If you do it well, yeah, I mean, it'll give it a little bit more flexibility so that draw won't break again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I could suggest some glues for you.
That would actually be very nice.
All right. I'll do my research.
All right, and while you guys are being heroes in the rebuild action figure universe, how about I take on the Action Comics?
Ooh.
Number 1057, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Rafa Sandoval, Matt Herms coloring, and letters from Dave Sharp, all wrapped in a Steve Beach cover. Starts out with Superman having lunch with an iron worker at the top of a skyscraper with some birds. Next, we're at the Daily Planet, and
I thought I was doing this one, but I guess not. Take it away. I'll take the vacation.
Yeah, if you're okay with it, Josh.
Yeah, you already started.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I already started it.
Yeah.
So next we're at the Daily Planet. Clark's all done with his lunch. And out of nowhere, the leader of the Blue Earthers is wanting to do an exclusive interview with Clark immediately and are headed there right now. So Clark's doing the interviewing, and the leader of the Blue Earth movement is Nora Stone, an older teenager with a pretty cool-looking bracelet with a green rock in the middle. Superman doesn't get affected by it, though, so it's obviously not kryptonite.
No.
So they do the interview, things get a little pointed. Seems Nora has a rather loose definition of the word murder. And then after Clark is on his way home and gets into this elevator with the silver-haired dude in a business suit, door closes, dude starts emitting green stuff. Again, not kryptonite. I think it's magic. And it's messing up Clark.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
The guy is taunting Clark about being weak, being powerless.
Because he's not susceptible to kryptonite anymore. They kind of that was in the Action 1050 story, right?
Oh.
Or am I misremembering?
No, you're not misremembering. That's actually a good point. I don't.
Yeah, because I think when he fought Luthor in that issue, like, I think Luthor had blasted him, or no, I don't. I could be I'll have to go through that again.
He definitely blasted him. I don't know if it was kryptonite though.
Because I remember he sent him away, and then he had basically a boom tube power. I don't remember if he was immune to kryptonite.
So I think what was happening there, at least what I remember from what I took with it, was Luthor blasted him with a force that previously would have been able to just like almost knock out Superman, but then he just shrugged it off like it was nothing because he's stronger now thanks to the godlike power from that guy whose name I don't remember.
Genesis fragment. Genesis, all that stuff. No, it was, I guess.
The power of Ulgrim.
Yes, well, it was like they had like the Genesis generator that they put in the Star Forges or something like that, and then this was in the World Special, I think. And then that basically boosted all of the Thelosian and also Clark's powers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh yeah, because the Ulgrim power is only in.
Yeah, because the fire of Ulgrim is only in Otho Ra.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Well,
is it Silver? I always get them confused.
It's one
powered
of the
up or
two.
not, he doesn't have any powers anymore. That green stuff seems to have sucked all of Clark's powers out of him, new and improved ones as well. Because
I was thinking that too, but at the same
Mhm.
time, the guy flies him through a building and then drops him into it,
Yeah,
and
I
he
feel
was
like
fine.
he's probably still got some powers.
He was
I'm
able
thinking
to. He was
that's
still
comic book
conscious.
stuff, guys.
Yeah.
The way that it's written, I think that that's what we're looking at. The guy sapped his powers, and Superman ain't quite so super. And I think the next up box spoils it for us, where it says man versus Superman.
Yeah.
The guy
Well,
takes on
it could
the
also
appearance.
be because I mean, obviously, like this guy's maybe revealed his hand and that he knows Clark's secret identity as Superman, but it could also be that Clark is trying to maintain that illusion
Yeah.
and is going to fight him as Clark Kent, so as not to reveal that he's actually Superman.
Which that would be
Well,
a
that's a possible.
dope ass story.
See,
Yeah,
actually.
I
feel
was
like
because that was how when I saw that caption, I was like, oh, he's gonna be like, oh well, I can't, he's making threats towards Clark Kent, but he hasn't revealed yet that he knows that I'm Superman, so I'm gonna have to try and take him down as Clark Kent, which I think would be pretty cool.
and I mean the guy. Well, okay. I mean, potentially. I guess we'll just have to sit back and wait and see.
Yeah.
From the next up, and then the way that he was talking about how does it feel to be weak? How does it feel to be powerless? I feel like maybe that's a good indication that
He is
Clark might be a
powerless.
little bit powerless.
Yeah.
That's
pretty accurate.
Yeah.
The next, so I think that Clark is powerless, or at least nearly so. And I think that whole thing where the guy says, I'm going to show the people what happens when you put your faith in monsters, he's going to go around as Superman and kill a bunch of people.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
But it's awesome, I'll tell you that much. And it's fucking awesome to look at, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gave it an 8.5. It was really good. It's a little short on the Blue Earther info, less than I was hoping for.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we got a lot actually. I was well. I once you finish your thoughts, I can kind of give mine. But
I feel like we've heard about them for so long, and that everything that we were told in the interview with his human lie detector stuff was all stuff that we already knew. You know what I mean?
Maybe?
So
I don't know.
Like
to a certain degree, like
Yeah.
there was a bit at the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we
That's
knew that
kind of new info.
the Blue Earth movement was kind of anti, apocalypse or not apocalypse, war world refugees.
Yeah.
But I think the issue did a pretty good job of just kind of going in depth on Nora's personal beliefs, but also the movement's beliefs as well. That's why I was, again, I don't want to step over your opinion, but I really, the whole
Sounds
interview
like you don't
sequence.
I
mean, I can stop. You could just say, "Oh, let me finish." Well, yeah. I mean, you should finish up first. I'll give my thoughts in a brief second.
All right. In the second part, or did you guys? I guess we've already talked about the first part, huh?
There's one thing I want to mention, but we can do it after.
Okay. Second part, written by Dan Jurgens, Art Lee Weeks, color Elizabeth Breitweiser, Rob Lee Letters, Home Again, Part 7. It just doesn't seem like we've had 7 parts of this story.
No, it really doesn't.
So Lois is outside looking up at the stars, thinking about her husband and son, while they're busy thinking about survival. Clark finds John, who's barely got anything left in him after having all the air sucked out of the room. Clark knocks a hole in the wall and fixes that. gets his breath back, and off they go after Gliana. They stop her, and John yells at her for lying to him. And her response to that is commanding the Killamex to kill all of the civilians, diverting Superman and Son in their scolding of her and saving of peoples. So then we cut back at the farm. Lois is still outside, and Doombreaker's stasis becomes not quite so static. He gets out and runs straight for Lois, and then poofs into thin air. It looks a little Gliana-ish, the poof does. And where does Doombreaker poof to? Into Gliana's escaping ship. That's where. So it looks like this story will be definitely continuing. We get a wrap up here though with Clark and John coming home to a happy Lois. Mm-hmm. Good story, good art. That part got a 7.5, and the part 3 is really summed up really quickly. Connor and Magan are a couple. That's great. I think it's awesome. Fucking rocks. Connor's going through some stuff about all he sees in Clark in him. Is Clark in him? I feel like we've been there before. He dyes his hair, gets into a fight with Magan, ignores Ma Kent. Seems like Connor's got some stuff going on, and I can't imagine what it is. Looks good finding out, though. I gave that part a 7 out of 10, so I gave the whole book an 8.
Teenage angst and identity crisis, which was already kind of worked through in Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, and this is already canon to have taken place after that. So
like, literally just got back, and apparently, I don't know, is having a bad day or something.
But I like the dye job. The hair looks cool.
Does it though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Brandon. Brandon's with me.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the dye job.
It's certainly a choice.
The partial, I don't think it works on him. That partial dye job, it just doesn't look good on him. Like give him change his haircut.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Slick his hair back or something. I don't fucking.
I'd rather him have like the 2000s buzz cut than this. Like this, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was
rough.
Yeah, a little rough.
Rob,
yeah. Rob, did you give your scores?
Not yet. I didn't score them separately, but like, whole issue I gave 8.75. I liked it all around.
Because you liked it.
Yes. I gave this issue 8.5. It would have been 8.75, but the Superboy backup was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same reason why it didn't get a 9 for me.
Yeah. I think it's called what is it? Like oh my God, how am I forgetting the name? It's not, no, the Dan Jurgens story. They were calling it, they were calling it like
Home Again?
Home Again.
No, not Home Again.
This story?
Yeah, well, it's like what was the story? Why am I forgetting? Was it Lois and Clark?
Oh yeah.
Lois?
Yeah, Clark and Lois.
Yeah.
Home Again. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to. Anyway, that story was just a nice way to end it. I don't know if they're going to do more of these flashback type stories, but it's fun.
With Doombreaker going off with Gliana, I can almost certainly tell you that I 100% believe Dan Jurgens has that whole story in his back fucking pocket.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering, like, how much space do they have to go? Because at a certain point, they have to get to Bendis's Man of Steel. They didn't really specify how much time happened between the end of the Tomasi run and that run, but like,
I would say in the neighborhood of like 5 more backups.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable, but anyway, it was just a fun way to bring it to a close. The Superboy story was certainly a choice. That's really all I have to say about that. I don't really have much more to say. I don't know why Connor and McGann are just a couple now, unless they wanted to.
Who cares?
Kind of tie in with the Young Justice show.
Because Young Justice,
yeah,
yeah,
but there's like those are different characters.
I don't care.
And like honestly, I'm just like I don't know. He's a much
One
better
of my favorite DC couples, man.
Yeah, but he has a much better romantic chemistry, I think, with
Tim
Cassie.
Drake. Oh yeah, Cassie.
Also Tim. I would say Cassie, or even like
should have some shit going on. She should be tied up in Amazon stuff right now.
Yeah, which is a perfect time to reach out to her old flame Connor and get some solace, but whatever. Anyway, yeah,
I don't know. Neck deep in swords and gods. I need a boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
everything.
It was just like weirdly angsty. It felt like a story from 2005. I don't know why it was here, but
it did. It felt like 90s Connor.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it felt more like Jeff Johns Connor, because 90s Connor was like, I don't give a fuck about anything. Yeah. This one is all like, I don't fit in Smallville and I hate it here, and it's like, bro, you've been in Smallville for a while now. I mean, I know this is post reboot and all, but like, come on, man. What are you complaining about? I don't know. It just felt so weird. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment. What I'll say about the Dan Jurgens one, I was taking it as, and this is me just piecing some stuff together. I don't think this what am I gonna breadcrumb, I guess I'll call it, that Dan Jurgens left with Gleanna. I don't think that's going to pick up again in the same time frame, same time period. There's not going to be a Clark and Lois 3 because Doombreaker obviously tied into Doomsday, and they've got some Doomsday stuff coming up soon, as was heavily teased in that Action Comics special. So it could be Doomsday and Doombreaker going to have some kind of connection, and Gleanna is going to be involved. And she's going to say, wait, you were that kid I kidnapped. Why are you so much older and handsome? Like, yeah,
brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah.
That would make me feel weird.
Yeah, that would be a little awkward. And finally, in the main story, I got to double check. Again, I read it today, but I know I double backed on it. I triple checked it. Now I'm second guessing myself. The last lie that Clark noticed out of what's her name with the Blue Earth Society?
Nora Stone.
Definitely hinted at the fact that she is also an alien.
Potentially.
Yeah, well, there were a couple of lines that I think kind of suggested that Nora is maybe not all she's presenting herself to be.
Yeah, and then also her associate with the green energy also said, "You're the reason we came here."
And look, if we're
insinuating to this planet.
Yeah.
Kind of a sidetrack thing, but if we're going to talk about Nora Stone, can we talk about how they could have literally named her anything else? We already have a Nora. We have already got Stones. Why does DC do that?
I don't know. It's just a normal name. It's because she's a Stone doesn't necessarily mean she's related to like Victor Stone.
No.
Also, she's not black, so like.
There's a million.
But which Nora are you talking about?
Nora Winters,
Nora
Spider-Man. Nora Freeze, which is spelled differently.
Freeze, yeah. Nora Fries.
Nora Fries.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like a very regular name. I don't see the problem there.
I mean, and also there's the idea like if
she's it's a thing where you guys will love it. Yeah. It's a 3-issue mini where she goes on a love affair with
Icicle.
No,
Captain Cold.
Damn it, Heatwave.
Heatwave. I get it. Nora Fries. Yes. I thought it was the next big thing of like McCain fries. It's the next brand of frozen fries, Nora fries. Where the fuck were we? What were we talking about? No, with Nora Stone though, if she is an alien, obviously it's not going to be her real name. She'll just come to Earth and be like, just have like one of those Peter Griffin moments where he's like, P tier Griffin, yeah,
good enough,
yeah, something like that, yeah.
I guess that's it.
We'll see. Yeah, that's it for now. You guys got a top 3 and a favorite moment if you have one?
Well, you stole my favorite moment.
I could have another. You don't know.
Okay, well that one is
I don't, but
awesome.
That's fair though. That's easily that's a great moment.
That's easily a favorite moment. So then I'm gonna say my next favorite moment was the opening of Doom Patrol, where the what the hell does he say? Go Flex Force.
Flex Force, yeah.
Okay.
That was funny.
And then my top three are gonna be Action Comics got 3rd, Spirit World took number 2, and in number 1 was WildCATs.
I'll say mine are the exact same, but I'll probably put WildCATs above Spirit World.
Nice. I had WildCATs at 3, Detective at 2, and Action at number 1. Favorite moment was obvious. The moment I read it straight out of Action was just that scene with Superman and the construction worker he's checking on, because like so simple, it's so effective. Like even in the midst of everything that's going on with Blue Earth and Warworld, the fact that he still takes the time to just check in with the people that he's promised to check in with is like, oh, it's perfect.
Which
all-star moment.
That reminds me, my secondary favorite moments, if you want to take the Ladytron one, Josh, it was actually right after that, and it was a whole sequence of events starting with Lois like, Smallville, I need you here fast. Not Wally fast, like very fast, which was great.
Yeah.
But then that leads into him flying off, and you have the panels surrounded by like film, and it looks like, okay, this is like a cinematic and intro.
No, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, and like showing him just flying through the city at super speed, saving a kid, and then like flying into a taxi and coming out the other side as Clark Kent. It was like, that's brilliant. I love that. That is like classic Superman.
Just great storytelling.
Yeah.
Also, Johnson very much showing his speedster bias.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't even call it a bias. Wally is definitely faster than Barry.
They've established this, but you still have some holders out who are like, no, Barry's obviously the fastest because he created the Speed Force or whatever.
He didn't create the
He didn't. So. He was just the first conduit on Earth Zero.
There's like this.
Actually,
there's like this line from the Flash Rebirth from 2009 that people love to cite, where it's like Barry becomes the lightning bolt that gives him powers, and
which cool, cool callback and whatnot. But
the lightning bolt still is not the Speed Force. It's just what gave him access to it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he's a conduit.
Yeah.
He's not the primordial force of nature.
Also, even if he was the
scientist from Middle America,
even if he was the person who created it, like we all know who the master of the Speed Force is. Max Mercury, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
Runner up.
We get to talk about him in the bonus show.
Yeah, perfect segue into what will be our next book.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
Spoilers.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Literally starting with Max.
All right, then that's the show. We are getting out of here, so you have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.